Good afternoon, Commissioners. This is Troy, your host. We are live and recording.
Thank you very much, Troy. We'll begin today's meeting. Before calling to order, we'll have an invocation by Pastor Scotty Priest. Welcome, Pastor.
Lord, it's an honor to be here today. It's a blessing to be a part of this community, and I know in large part it's because of men and women like the men and women on our board of commissioners that help lead the way to create the community that we have. I'm grateful for them. I know their job is incredibly complex and they carry a weight that very few people know. And they have to discern so many different issues. And I just pray today you would give them wisdom and direction and clarity as they seek to serve our community in the best way they know how. And I pray your richest blessings on them as they do that. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you so much for being here with us, Pastor. We appreciate that. With that, I will call this meeting to order of the Douglas County Board of County Commissioners, our business meeting Tuesday, July 26, 2022. If you'll all rise and join me in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Attorney Ingalls, do we have certification of the agenda today?
We do, Mr. Chair. My office has reviewed all items on today's agenda, and they all meet legal approval. Just so you know, when you get to it, item 3R, which is an IGA between Adams, Arapahoe, Douglas counties, and Tri-County Health Department, the exhibit to that agreement is still being finalized. The information that's on it as far as the asset list is correct, but we're waiting for the initials from, say, Adams County as far as which personal property they would want. So that will be attached after this meeting, although the exhibit list you've seen is complete.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ingalls. So any difficulties or challenges with us approving that on our consent agenda today?
Not if you're comfortable doing so.
Okay, thank you. With that, do any commissioners have disclosures for items on this agenda?
I have none, thank you.
No, sir.
And I have none either. With that, we'll move into a special time of employee recognition. I want to thank everyone for being here with us today for this. And I would invite Tim Hallmark, Brian Franklin, and Jim Bear up to join us for a brief commentary. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello, my name is Jim Beckley, and I am Edgar Benia's immediate supervisor. It has been my pleasure to have Edgar as one of my technicians since I started here about 16 months ago. It did not take me long to see that Edgar had a vast knowledge of the county equipment, and I could count on him to get the job done. Edgar shows up ready to go to work daily and maintains a steady work pace throughout the day. With that being said, he's always willing to stop what he is doing to share his expertise and knowledge with fellow technicians. When a fleet operator comes in to the shop, and he greets them with a welcoming, "How can I assist you today?" and is always willing to help. Whenever there is a piece of equipment that needs to be repaired, whether it be at the shop or on a job site, Edgar is eager to figure out a solution and get it resolved quickly. When an extremely difficult troubleshooting or repair situation arises, he is enthusiastic to come up with a remedy to fix the equipment. It is fun to hear him from across the shop shout, "Yahtzee." Translation, that is Edgar's way of saying, "I have figured it out and it is fixed." I have spoken with the other technicians at the Parker Fleet Repair Shop who has known Edgar for years. They speak very highly of Edgar, and they often tell me what an incredible asset Edgar is to the county and how much they appreciate working with him on a daily basis. I look forward to working with Edgar and seeing his enthusiasm and dedication grow for many years to come. Edgar is a shining example of what a county employee should be. On a personal level, I've gotten to know Edgar, and I can see he genuinely cares for people. His family is very important to him, and he always puts their needs above his own. I believe that is a driving force for him to be a first-rate technician. I truly enjoy working with Edgar, and it has been a pleasure. Thank you so much for being a valuable asset and member to the Parker Shop, Fleet Services, and the county.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Jim, thank you so much for those comments. Tim or Brian, did you have anything else to add?
Right off, I've worked with Edgar for 3 years now, and he's been a great employee, very solid, and just part of a great team there at Parker.
Thanks, Brian. Okay, and with that, Mr. Bonilla,
Yes, sir.
did you have any comments for the board?
No, I do not.
Okay, short and sweet.
Not even a Yahtzee?
I was going to say, I thought you had a special code word. Well, let me, if you don't have any comments, I will open it up to the Board of County Commissioners.
So Edgar, thank you for your service. When I came in to the hearing room this afternoon, we had a little discussion, and I thought you were going to be prepped and ready to go. What happened?
I wasn't prepped.
Well, thank you for your service. 10 years in this job market is a long time. So thank you for being here. And Jim said nice things about you. Brian said nice things about you. And Tim's back there grinning. So I can tell that he's very happy and pleased with that you are part of the team. Thank you on behalf of the citizens of this county.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Stay put. We got a few more commissioners with comments. We're going to continue to applaud you.
Well, hey, thanks for bringing Edgar in today, Jim, Tim, Brian. Appreciate it, fellas. I think there's a lot of folks who, a lot of the time here in the county, they look at what goes on up here, suit and tie, and this is the county. This is what goes on. But none of it can happen without guys like you, Edgar, who are actually getting your hands dirty, keeping everything rolling for us so that we can, be up here in suits and tie and do this kind of stuff. I've spent a lot of my professional career being the guy that starts the day in the boardroom and ends the day on the back loading dock with the guys who get their hands dirty. So I definitely have an appreciation for what you do. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here for 10 years. We've gone through a big changeover. People have changed jobs over the last couple of years with everything. So thanks for being here. Thanks for helping out. Thanks for being part of the puzzle that helps Douglas County be the best place on earth.
You're welcome.
Well, and I would just echo the sentiments of our board that no doubt, based upon the comments of those you work with, you are a shining example of what it means to be a Douglas County employee. And that's usually somebody that is really good at what they do and just generally a good person. So thank you for your incredible service all these years on the front lines. We know our citizens appreciate that probably a lot more than anything else that we do. So thank you for being out there and Yahtzee.
Thank you.
Yeah. And with that, we'll move to item 2 on our agenda today, which is citizen comment and organization comments. At this time, you are welcome to comment about any topic other than what is scheduled on today's regular agenda. You'll be prompted to comment on those items at the appropriate time. This is an opportunity to share your thoughts and ideas with us. If you would, please state your name and address prior to making comments. You will have up to 3 minutes to make those comments. Commissioner comments, if any, will follow all citizen comments. So with that, let me open it up to any citizen comments. Are there any citizen comments in the room? Okay, Troy, do we have any citizen comments online?
Thank you, Commissioner. I have no online comments.
Okay, and with that, I will close item 2, citizen comment, and move to item 3, which is our consent agenda. And I will ask if there is any citizen comment on our consent agenda item 3 for any item that is in that particular portion of our agenda today. Are there any comments either in the room or online?
Thank you, Commissioner. I have no online comments.
Okay, and with that, I will accept any further discussion and or a motion.
I have a motion to approve the requests in all items A through T of the consent agenda.
I'll second.
There's a first and second on the floor. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, and that carries 3-0. And with that, we will move to our regular agenda, first with item 4A. It's a budget reallocation for $400,000, and approval of an intergovernmental agreement between the Town of Larkspur and the Board of County Commissioners of the County of Douglas, State of Colorado, regarding a financial contribution for design and constructing the Spruce Mountain Road Trail between Perry Park Avenue and Town Hall. Douglas County project number CI 2022-018. Arthur Griffith presenting for staff. And you can just choose to be able to click through.
Thank you. Art Griffith for engineering staff. Before you is a recommendation to reallocate $400,000 for an IGA with the town of Larkspur regarding a financial contribution for the Spruce Mountain Trail from Perry Park Avenue to Town Hall. Let's see. Did an aggressive push, but yeah, thanks, sir. This project was selected by DRCOG to receive some federal funding. In the bottom of this chart, you can see in FY23, the local agency Larkspur is contributing $111,000 for the project, for a total project cost of $511,000. Just a little map there shows where it is that the trail takes place. It will actually start out on the west side near Perry Park. It'll switch over and then it'll run through the park up to Town Hall. A little background about this project. In 2019, DRCOG selected this project to receive $400,000. In the fall of 21, representatives from DRCOG, Larkspur, and the county, that would be myself, we talked about the value of swapping the Larkspur federal funds with the county federal funds for State Highway 83 safety project. This looked like a good way to advance both projects and relieve Larkspur from having to get into a lot of federal process paperwork related to handling federal funds. It would probably allow them to do more with the budget. Federal funding takes a lot of additional oversight. So at the end of the year, Larkspur Council approved the funding swap. We had a work session with you all on February 28th. We approved the swap process to begin. So in the spring of 2022, DRCOG completed the TIP amendment process that removed $400,000 in DRCOG funding for the Larkspur project and increased the DRCOG funding for the State Highway 83 safety improvement project. Thus, our county required match decreased by $400,000 from 3.5 to 3.1 million. And DRCOG's funding participation for the State Highway 83 project increased from 3.5 to 3.9. So the next action in completing this total swap is the approval of this IGA with the town of Larkspur. So there before you is the request. Do you have any questions regarding this item?
Art, thanks for that presentation. Any questions for Art?
No questions.
None.
Thank you.
You know, Art, maybe just a couple of questions for me. And, I think an ongoing theme from my perspective is always, greatest good for the greatest number. Very thankful for Commissioner Teal's work on Dr. Cog and representing us from a county perspective. But for those of us that are not intimately involved or as closely involved as Commissioner Teal or perhaps yourself, can you walk us through that kind of greatest good for the greatest number potential with this project? I mean, 400,000, pleased to do it, and I think it's a positive, but just, I'm wondering how many individuals are impacted and improved by this project.
Well, as the county grows, we see increased use of Spruce Mountain Road. One example of that is the I-25 Gap project. A lot of traffic traveled on Spruce Mountain Road, which is just a small town, small time road. And as that road's grown up, it does not have pedestrian or bike facilities. And this is a great opportunity to provide huge safety improvements for the town. This money that is involved in the swap is actually taking the Dr. Cog funds and reallocating them to our 83 project. And then we backfill Larkspur with our 400,000. So it's a net cost adjustment for us, but a small community like this really is going to be able to do a lot of improvements with this funding opportunity. So I hope that answered your question.
I think it does, Art. And when you talk about the tip cycle and how it might have scored at Dr. Cog, I know that's partially in our information, but can you walk through that, just the scoring and how it made sense from that perspective?
So there was, this is back, not in the current tip cycle that we're in now, but this is the previous tip cycle where projects were selected in 2019. So what's gone down in that 2019 tip cycle is we ended up being one of the agencies that helped lead the charge to create a two-tip step process where 80% of the money was allocated to the subregions, one of which is Douglas County. So that allocation of 80% of the money to the subregion comes to us to advance projects, important projects throughout all of Douglas County. 20% went to larger regional projects where most of those funds went to like the I-70 viaduct project. And all of the agencies within Douglas County rated and evaluated the projects in that tip cycle, and we saw this as an important need. In that previous cycle, most of those projects in that tip cycle, we were looking for a 50-50 split. This split was closer to an 80-20 split. And our sub-regional form of steering committee members made up of elected officials felt that that was a fair way to help out a small city like Larkspur, town like Larkspur.
Thank you, Art. Commissioner Teal.
Yeah, just to add a little extra color, probably, that Art feels like it might be outside his lane. This really was a result of, as Art said, that 80-20 funding scheme out of Dr. Cog, which was actually a motion pushed by both myself, although at the time not in my current position, but in my previous municipal position, and also a friend to the board, Commissioner Steve O'Dorisio from Adams County. What we're seeing here, one of the key concerns that made this, if we go back a few slides, you'll see the scoring criteria coming out of Dr. Cog, how this was noted as a safety improvement. Commissioners, I would remind everyone, we've had several conversations in my time on the board about what can we do to do some kind of grade separation, some kind of separation with kind of the recreational cyclists here in the county on our smaller country roads. Well, this came up early as being one of the biggest offenders. offenders probably isn't the right word, but one of our primary examples where we have what's meant to be a small country road being used by recreational cyclists, and the safety concerns that we do hear from many in our population coming out. This was offered up as a good opportunity. Seen as how the 80-20 funding mechanism between the region and the subregions, of which Douglas County is one discrete subregion at DRCOG, where we could implement that successfully here in Douglas County, knowing, of course, that even if we, the members of the steering committee here in Douglas County, chose projects, they would still need adoption at the larger region. And I would just remind everybody, the DRCOG region includes such jurisdictions as Boulder County, the city of Boulder, and others that view recreational cycling as transportation, even though that might not be a concept shared 100% down here. So this was an opportunity for us to kind of, if you will, pad the plan to where we did get good, solid. We approved the IGA with Castle Rock for the Four Corners intersection earlier this year, and that's construction that is going to be beginning. That was a project that was on this very tip cycle as well. And quite frankly, it was a good way to make sure that we did address a very real safety transportation concern within the town of Larkspur. So that's a little bit of the additional color behind this one. I think it's good to see it finally get to here. More specifically, I think it's really great that what we're doing here is bringing those federal dollars, which are always difficult to administer here at the county level for some of our larger municipalities. I think they're equipped with staff support to administer those per federal deadlines. Probably a challenge for our friends in Larkspur, though. And by bringing those federal dollars onto the safety improvements that, again, have been a topic of discussion here at the board on Highway 83. I thought it was a win-win, a good way to swap things out, and definitely appreciate all the work that Art and the team have been doing to make sure that we cross our T's and dot our I's on this one.
Well, Commissioner Teal, I think you've proved the point that you represent us well with DRCOG and your work with staff, so thank you for that. Additional questions or comments for Art? Okay, with that, I'll open it up for any citizen comment. Is there any citizen comment either in the room or online with regard to this item 4A?
No online comments, Commissioner.
Troy, do you have any online comment?
I'm sorry, Commissioner, there are no online comments.
Okay, thanks so much for that, and I will close citizen comment and bring it back to the board for any further discussion and or a motion.
I would just like to make a comment. Art, thank you for working on this now that we have citizen comment. I will support this for several reasons. It is a necessary project. And just to point out, the county is funding a trail in Larkspur for $400,000. It also helps the cyclists that are riding through there. It helps the community. And I really like the way that you put this together, because those federal paperwork projects are a project in and of themselves, and it helps our small town of Larkspur. So thank you for bringing this forward.
Well, Chair, if it pleases the board, I do have a motion to approve the budget reallocation for $400,000 and approval of an intergovernmental agreement between the Town of Larkspur and Board of County Commissioners regarding a financial contribution for design and constructing the Spruce Mountain Road Trail between Perry Park Avenue and Town Hall, Douglas County Project CI 2022-018.
Second.
So we have a first and second on the floor. Is there any further discussion? For me, I will just add that we've had some significant ongoing discussions around recreational use and mobility for cyclists. It's certainly a topic near and dear to my heart from first beginnings in public service. So really do appreciate the hard work that all of the staff and team members have put into this. Art, you're so great at getting dollars to the right spot. So I'm certainly in support. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, and that carries 3-0. Thank you, Art. And with that, we'll move to item 4B on our agenda, which is an intergovernmental agreement between the City of Littleton and the Board of County Commissioners for the County of Douglas, State of Colorado, regarding a financial contribution for constructing the County Line Road / Lewiston Boulevard intersection improvements in an amount not to exceed $300,000. Douglas County Project File TF 2015-025. Zeke Lynch presenting for staff. Hi, Zeke.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. All right, looks like the slide deck's come up. I'm Zeke Lynch. I'm our Traffic Division Manager here at the county. I appreciate your time today. The agenda item before you is in regards to an intergovernmental agreement with the City of Littleton for intersection improvements at County Line Road and Lewiston Boulevard. The ask of our county is a $300,000 financial commitment to improvements at the intersection. So I have some subsequent slides that will go into the details of the project, but the project has been contemplated by our traffic staff since 2015. So it's one that's been on our radar for some time. It really involves some minor intersection improvements, some shoulder widening, and some restriping for the purpose of eliminating the existing split phasing, and I'll get into the details of what that means. But essentially what we're trying to do is we're trying to improve the signal operations to reduce congestion, improve mobility, and provide a more reliable transportation network. And fortunately, the city has a broader project, an overlay project planned in the area, and so they've agreed to take on this component of the project as part of that larger project, which involves pavement management and stormwater system maintenance. So the general project area is right at the intersection of Lewiston Boulevard and County Line Road. Let's see if I can bring up the laser pointer here and kind of describe the project a little bit. So this is the intersection. McClellan Reservoir is to the north of the T intersection. Some of the primary movements are this westbound left from County Line to Lewiston Boulevard, and again, this northbound right from Lewiston to County Line. And so currently, this is what I would describe as the split phasing operations. So essentially, this westbound approach has to go because we need these double left turns for that heavy movement. Then the eastbound approach goes, and then the northbound approach goes. So the idea being is if we can do some very minor curb realignments on the south side of the intersection, some slight median widening or shoulder widening in this section, we can get an area for 5 lanes through here. So we could then have 2 left turn lanes and a separate through lane. And that way we can start to manage this signal in a more traditional intersection phasing approach, increasing the capacity and improving the operations. So key to this agreement is it's a $483,000 project, the initial phase. The ask from the county is $300,000. The city has planned a hot in-place asphalt recycling overlay project on the heels of this project. And that broader overlay project will happen all the way from Santa Fe Drive to South Park Terrace, roughly 2.1 miles, almost all the way to the Broadway intersection. So when the project's finished, not only will we have improved traffic signal operations at the intersection, we'll also have a fully overlaid roadway along County Line Road. So staff recommends approval of the IGA with the City of Littleton in the amount of $300,000. I'd be happy to take any questions you may have.
Zeke, thanks for that presentation. Any questions for Zeke?
Zeke, can you remind me when this project will be completed? All the paving and everything you've just spoken about?
So the county is already contracted at risk to move forward with the project despite not having an IGA completed with us. That speaks to the level of partnership that Art and others have developed with our local municipalities over the course of many years. They have, like I said, they've already contracted and plan to move forward. So this year, sometime in the fall, these improvements will be complete.
And again, you use that magic word partnership, so thank you for everything you, Janet, and your team have done to bring another great project to us. Thank you.
Further questions for Zeke?
No, sir.
Zeke, so remind me, what is the contribution from City of Littleton?
So specific to the intersection projects, the total project is $483,000, of which our total is $300,000.
Got it.
And then I'm not certain of the contract amount for the overlay project, but it's significant.
Okay. And then do you happen to have any final renderings of what the project would look like after completion?
No, unfortunately, I sure don't. I just have plan sheets that I tried to describe here today with this aerial photo. But essentially, we would have a double westbound left here, a single westbound through. This right turn would be shifted roughly 12 feet to the south. This curb line would be realigned so that this right turn would occur here and this through movement would occur here, so that we can have these left turns. And related to this discussion is we would change this to a what's called a flashing yellow arrow operation. So these left turns could go certain times of the day. It might be a protected only red arrow, and other times of the day when there's not as much conflicting traffic, this movement could go during the permissive phase of the signal.
So the problem we're trying to solve here are just associated with flows, just traffic operations to ensure it's a little bit more streamlined and efficient.
That's right.
Okay. Any further questions for Zeke? All right, seeing none, I'll open it up for any citizen comment, either in the room or online. Is there any citizen comment for this item?
Thank you, Commissioner. I have no online comment.
Thank you, Troy. With that, I'll close citizen comment and bring it back to the board for any further discussion and or a motion.
I have a motion to approve an intergovernmental agreement between the City of Littleton and the Board of County Commissioners regarding a financial contribution for constructing the County Line Road, Lewiston Boulevard intersection improvements in an amount not to exceed $300,000. Douglas County project number TF 2015-025.
Second.
So we have a first and second on the floor. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, and that carries 3-0. And with that, we'll move to our final item on our regular agenda, which is item C. And that is to award a construction contract to Kramer North America, LLC for the Titan US 85 northbound on-ramp project in an amount not to exceed $984,521.49. Douglas County project number CI 2021-044. Brolin Bundy with staff. Hi, Brolin.
Hi. Good afternoon, Commissioners. Brolin Bundy with the Capital Improvements Group, Capital Improvements Project Manager. I'm here to present to you about the awarding of the construction contract to Kramer for the Titan US 85 on-ramp project. Let me see if I can do what Zeke did. Here's one of the plan sheets from the project. Just want to give you guys an idea of kind of what's going on here. So here's Titan Parkway, the northbound on-ramp north this way. So the work for this project will consist of restriping Titan Parkway to include a second left turn lane onto the northbound on-ramp, and then widening of the on-ramp, which will consist of some guardrail, slope and ditch paving behind the guardrail, some soil retention mat up here on the slope, and a little bit of work up here on Wildfield Lane with some curb and gutter. So it's kind of some of the elements of the project, as well as adjusting the signals on the current mast arm there. So we had a bid opening. It was held on July 6th, and we received 2 bids. You can see the 2 bids there, one from Kramer North America for an amount of $984,521.49, and Nora Concrete at $1,244,845.30. And we got had an engineer's estimate of $988,157.50. So we had some good prices and a good bid come in, so we were happy with that, and with the lowest bid that we received. So our staff recommendation is to award the construction contract to Kramer North America for the Titan US 85 northbound on-ramp project for an amount not to exceed $984,521.49. So I'll leave it, ask you guys if you have any questions or comments.
Thank you, Brolin, for that presentation. Any questions for Brolin?
Brolin, thank you for bringing this to us. Certainly, we've been through there a lot lately, and there is a need for this, so thank you for working on this. You talked earlier about, when you first started, about on Titan Road eastbound going towards 85. And as you get to those expansion joints, I guess is what they are, on the bridge, you kind of go up and down and up and down, and I've had citizens ask me about it. It kind of feels like a roller coaster sometime. Is there any opportunity to ever fix that, or is that just the way it is?
As part of this project?
Part of any project.
Yeah, I mean, in the future, I mean, I think it could, obviously it could be, but as part of this project, we're just doing restriping of Titan Parkway. But yeah, I think in the future, there's definitely opportunity to, fix that.
What would it take to fix it? Is it supposed to be that way?
No, over time, settlement at the abutments and stuff like that happens where you get the differential settlement of the lane and the bridge, so that's why that happens around any bridge.
Did you call a friend?
I think your comments are right. Art Griffith for staff. A lot of it is due to settlement. Yeah. In this case, they were constructed that way initially with the problem, and what can happen is girders can get over-cambered. In other words, you have this pre-stressed member, and by putting in this pre-stressed cables in it, it makes the bridge flex up so that loads that come down, like trucks and heavy traffic, then push it down. Well, you can over-camber a bridge, and so what happened on the bridges, especially the ones that are closest to 85, which are CDOT's bridges, they're over-cambered significantly, and so you get that bump when you get off the bridge. It would cost potentially over $1 million just to fix the bridge over 85, and so there is a series of other bridges there. The ones I believe that are the most profound is the US 85 bridge. The ones to the west aren't as much. So it's something we can look into and look to budget, but essentially that's CDOT's bridge and they're responsible. We do share these comments frequently over the last 10 years with CDOT, and they've chose to focus their resources elsewhere.
And I can understand resources. I just hear it whenever I go over there. I notice it, so I thought this would be an opportunity to ask the experts. So thank you.
Thank you for asking.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any additional questions or comments for staff?
No, sir.
Okay. Seeing no additional questions or comments for staff, I'll open it up for any citizen comment either in person or online regarding this item 4C.
Thank you, Commissioner Layden. I have no online comment.
Okay, and I don't see any comment in the room. So with that, I will close citizen comment and bring it back to the board for any further discussion and or a motion.
If it does please the board, I do have a motion to approve a construction contract with Kramer North America, LLC, for the Titan US 85 northbound on-ramp project in an amount not to exceed $984,521.49. Douglas County project number CI 2021-044.
Second.
So there's a first and second on the floor. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, and that carries 3-0. And with that, is there any additional business, any other business? So we'll move to item 6, to the county manager's report. County manager Doug DeBoard, anything? Okay. And then finally, we'll move to commissioner comments, item 7. Are there any commissioner comments?
I do have a commissioner comment. I always read through the county manager's report, and he has a very nice outline talking about the Douglas County Board of Health. And as of July 1st of this year, the Douglas County Health Department is now beginning disease surveillance and prevention services. So if you or anybody you know gets a dog bite, an animal bite of any kind that breaks the skin, you need to notify the Douglas County Health Department, because we are now tracking rabies throughout the county. Our health department is growing nicely at a well-planned pace. By December 15th, the Douglas County Health Department will be completely up and running, no longer depending on Tri-County Health. So start looking at us. We're going to be doing restaurant inspections starting September 1st through the the Health Department. And I'm really pleased to see the great process, the project, the way this has all come together. And, 2 years ago when Doug DeBoard was faced with, how do I figure out a health department for the county? He got staff together, they started working on it. We've hired an executive director, and we are going to have a health department in Douglas County that people can be very proud of, and I bet some people are going to be very envious of. So thank you.
Any additional commissioner comments?
I do, Chair. Just a reminder for everyone who may be listening in, and of course everyone in the room right now, tomorrow, July 27th, 6 p.m., we'll be hosting a town hall, and the topic will be the extension of the open space sales tax that we've had here in the county since 1994. It does expire next year, and expires in 2024. And so, we're going to be talking about a plan brought forward by a citizen group to extend that open space sales tax. Come on out. We'd love to hear everybody's input. We'd like to hear the good ideas, the bad ideas, and of course, any general direction that anybody would like to give us.
Thank you, Commissioner Teal. And I'll just echo those sentiments. We often hear from our public and the citizens that we represent that open space and parks are some of the issues that really are top priorities for them as they think about county services. Tends to poll very, very significantly, primarily because we have a lot of Coloradans that love recreation, a lot of young people that enjoy our parks and play sports in our parks. I know we've had some great opportunities to have some ribbon cuttings associated with some park acquisitions, but no doubt that resource and being able to preserve open space and parks for present and future generations is tremendously significant. And I was really moved by the conversation in that recent meeting, that recent public meeting from among many citizen groups. About 28 individuals commented from Trust for Public Lands, Land Conservancy, Open Space. I mean, it was really a pretty robust group and a historic group, many that had been part of that founding organization that originally proposed the original open space measure. So it was a real honor to listen in and to participate in that meeting. So again, to echo Commissioner Teal, hope everyone has an opportunity to participate in that live town hall tomorrow night. And with that, we are adjourned. We'll reconvene at 2:30 for our public hearing and land use meeting. Thank you.